Is Milo Yiannopoulos a gay Uncle Tom? During the recent Twitter spat between Leslie Jones and Milo, somebody tweeted that he was a gay Uncle Tom, and Leslie retweeted it. For those of you who don't know what a Uncle Tom is, it's basically just code for a sellout. It came from a story about a black man who lived in the master's house and didn't like other black people. Anyhow, some people tried to say that she was being offensive somehow by saying that, but I personally don't really care. I don't find it offensive. However, I figured that since I'm a gay guy with common sense, I should address the allegation because a number of people have asked for my opinions on Milo. I have a love-hate opinion of him, so I'm gonna say the things I like about him in relation to my demographic, gay men, and the ways in which I think he isn't a great spokesperson for my community. Number one, in favor of him, he rips current feminism to shreds super well, and you have to remember that current feminism has targeted gay men. Current feminists hate gay men. He covers a lot of the major talking points that I've noticed and even brought up some things that I had never thought of. He talks about the flagrant misandry and hatred of masculinity and how it isn't just common, but actually encouraged. He talks about how feminists claim gay men are not oppressed, and he talks about how much feminists want double standards for their own provocations and bullying behavior, especially on the internet, where they simultaneously attack people and then play victim if anybody ever says anything back. He is spot on, 100% correct about all of that. And he even has done some really awesome things, like called out Connie St. Francis on the BBC Live for lying about both Tim Hunt and himself. She said that Milo had called for an assassination on Twitter. Then he called her a liar, and she soon after had to publish that she was not telling the truth. And I imagine her journalistic career is over now, and deservedly so. That said, he is worth at least checking out for his criticisms of feminism alone, because in that way he is helping homo guys out a lot. Number one, against him, he opposes gay marriage, which is really just something he is parroting from the Trump campaign, which might just be paying him millions of dollars to be a full-time pundit. Regardless, while his point about gay marriage being kind of uninteresting and assimilationist is valid to me, that doesn't mean that people shouldn't have the ability to marry. If we don't have equal treatment under the law, we will be thought of as second-class citizens by many people. And really, hearing about gay marriage was such a boring conversation, and I want it to never come up again. Number two, in favor of him. His freedom of speech sentiments are very important because he is standing up for something that we really need, which is open communication on the internet especially. This is a very complicated issue, which I cover in my free Milo video, but the basic point is that this affects all of us. I don't agree with his conclusion that Trump would be great for free speech, though I have to admit I'm kind of terrified for what Clinton would do. So basically, I'm just really unsure in this point in time, and I don't like to talk about the presidential election all that much. Okay, next. Number two, against him. He says that he would be homophobic if he wasn't gay or whatever, and many people think that means he's self-hating. Personally, that is not my read of him, as I think he's a narcissistic nihilist that loves himself way too much to ever consider such a notion of self-hatred. I think really he just thinks he's better than everybody and probably has a great disdain for the majority of the entire human race, almost, and therefore doesn't hold back when it comes to criticizing his own community. I feel the same about him potentially being a misogynist. I don't really buy it. I bet he likes women just as much as men, generally, which isn't a whole fucking lot. I think he probably hates most men. But he'll take a smart, interesting woman over the vast majority of guys any day. Either way, this sentiment of him hating other gay guys is unfortunately something I've shared with him at certain points in my life, and I regret to inform you guys that right now might be one of those times because so many gay guys are SJWs and they kind of drive me up the wall. Number three, in favor of him, I really like a gay guy that legitimately has balls. Seriously, you can say a lot about him, and I do kind of think he wouldn't do half of what he does if he didn't have a bunch of security on his side. But I just like it when a gay guy shows the entire world that they aren't afraid of whatever they will throw at him. So many people are against him, and they want to silence him, but he keeps going. 2015 and 2016 will affect him for the rest of his life, most probably, but he keeps on keeping on. Regardless of whether that is a trait to admire with him personally, and whether he will end up like old and alone with a big pile of money, he at least is showing the world that there are some gay men who will not buckle to what is expected of them, and who will say whatever the fuck they want without fear of the consequences. And that is a good message, in my opinion, about our community. A lot of people think that we're all scared. Number three, against him, he says that he has never experienced homophobia in his entire life that he remembers. And this is probably the biggest one that bothers me because personally, I just call bullshit on that. I really think that he's lying. And it's not helpful to our collective struggles as gay men to have him saying that. I mean, I'm less faggy looking than him, and I still experience homophobia sometimes. I almost got gay bashed just last year, and I'm big and hairy, like I'm like less faggy looking than him. So yeah, that's just really silly for him to say that, and I don't even believe him when he says it at all. Like I just think he is literally just lying. But of course, there's no way I can prove that, so whatever. All right, that's about it. Do you think I was fair? Let me know in the comments, drop me a like, and stay tuned for more.